All right, who wants to have some fun? I'm Ramsey Jones, certified, bona fide, qualified food reviewer. Okay, well, good morning. This is rather hard to film because I have some random people shouting at me. Anyways, for breakfast, I'm going to Breaking Bad. This place is a popular bakery and sandwich shop in, where am I? Tamarindo. Everything in there is homemade and it looks spectacular. I'm going to take my breakfast to the beach where you see the hot like button. So I'm really impressed with Costa Rica so far. I just got here a few hours ago. I took the overnight flight from Calgary, so I'm a little bit tired, but I pumped myself full of Costa Rican coffee. So if I seem a little shaky, it doesn't mean I'm nervous. Actually, I am a little nervous because I haven't done this for a while. I took a 2-month break or so. This dish is called Shoka. It's actually a Mediterranean dish. It's not Costa Rican, but it looks pretty awesome. It's full of tomatoes and a bunch of other spices and egg. Looks it's kind of like a hard to medium boiled egg. So I'll just try a bite without the bread and I'll take a bite with the bread. You kind of have to have the bread from a place called Breaking Bread. I love the name of that place, by the way. This was pretty tasty. It's got a lot of nice tomato flavor there. It's quite savory dish. Okay, now let's try this bread. I'm gonna dip in here. All the bread there is homemade and it's nice and fresh, and this bread is so soft. It's just like a pillow. It's awesome. Yeah, very tomatoey and very eggy. I don't know if eggy is a word, but I'll go with it. This is just a delicious meal. I'm enjoying every bite I'm taking so far. I'm going to give this a Jones score of 17 out of 20. So I had to get the Snickers banana bread. I asked the guy in there if it was good, and he's like, well, do you like Snickers? I'm like, yeah. Do you like banana bread? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, you're gonna love this. And it sounds like a crazy combination. Kind of looks purple for some reason. I don't know why. That's kind of weird. There's like a purple bit right there. I want to eat that part first. Crazy. I don't know what that purple part was. I can taste the chocolate, and it's nice banana bread. It's weird, I can mainly just taste the chocolate. I can't really taste the caramel yet. Yeah, I can't taste any peanut. To be honest, this just tastes like a normal chocolate chip banana bread. They like put whole chunks of banana in here, weird. I've never seen that before. I don't think I like that. It makes the banana bread kind of slimy. But it's quite tasty. I'm really quite enjoying it. I'm still gonna give it a pretty high score because I like banana bread and I like chocolate. So I'm gonna give it a 15 out of 20. Okay, so I better make sure I don't get run over here. But for lunch, I'm gonna go to Falafel Bar. It's a very highly rated spot to go to in Tamarindo. I keep saying Tamarindo for some reason. I don't know why I say that. But it also has Mediterranean cuisine. I saw a few YouTube videos about it and it looked really good. So let's check it out. So I know I'm a little dark, but the lighting, it keeps changing all the time. And I really wanted to review in front of the Tamarindo sign because it's really cool and it's really iconic. And I said that word Tamarindo correctly. I think I did. Anyways, I decided to get a falafel from the Falafel Bar because I figured that's probably what you should get from a falafel bar. It had a ton of other stuff on the menu too, basically everything you would find in a Middle Eastern restaurant. This falafel wrap has falafel, hummus, lettuce, and a cool pita bread. It's more like a bun than a pita wrap. I've never seen it like that before. And I put a hot sauce on top of it as well, but I was trying to show it on the camera and it just kind of clunked together. So I just took the clunks and I spread it apart because I usually like things spicy. All right, looking forward to this. Ooh, that's tasty. The falafels have some nice crunch to them. And they have a lot of seasoning in them. The bun is nice and soft. It's more like a bun than a wrap. I don't know why they're calling it a wrap. The falafels have a lot of moisture to them as well. I'd say the hummus is almost as good as Jerusalem shawarma hummus, and that is a very big compliment from me. So you might have noticed the video quality is a lot better now. I updated my camera to 4K, and I also got a new backpack. But just the last scene, my backpack got pooed on by a bird. And I should have noticed because there's a ton of poo all around that area. So lesson learned, I'm not going to film when there's a bunch of poo on the ground. That's right, you're seeing that poo in high quality 4K HD. So if you want to see good quality like that, you better subscribe to my channel. I have really not much else to say about this wrap other than it's delicious. And I'm gonna give it a Jones score of 19 out of 20. Okay, so I better get this review done quick because I don't want to get caught because I just snuck a bunch of food in here. You're not supposed to take food to this waterfall, and they checked my backpack and they told me to put my snacks back in the van. But then I put a couple in my pocket. So we're going to see what happened. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. But my first snack here, I'm just going to take it out of my pocket so I don't see what I'm going to eat. It's the caramel corn nuts. I'm going to take one here. These are pretty awesome actually. They just have like caramel taste and they're corn nuts. So you can't really go wrong, right? But I do prefer my nuts salty. Well, I prefer my corn nuts salty. So I would go with more with the salty corn nuts. I kind of wish they had the snack back in Canada. I'm kind of extra nervous right now because I don't want to get caught eating food in front of this waterfall. This tour guide is kind of looking at me right now. So I'm going to sneak this other snack. It's the circular ones. I'm not sure quite what it is. It kind of looks like cheesies, but let's try them out. Oh, those are cheesies. And they're awesome. They're circular cheesies. I kind of like the shape of them. They're almost more fun to eat for some reason. I don't know why. I guess they call those other onion ring ones kind of Funyuns. And you know what? That's kind of fun. That's what my dad refers to as food that's good food. He calls it fun food. Because if it's like anything that's usually kind of healthy and like super good for you, it's not that fun, and he doesn't have a good time eating it. And I don't really have a good time eating it, to be honest, either. That's really fun food, and cheesies always gets a 20 out of 20 for me. And I want to give those caramel corn nuts, even though I prefer my nuts salty, I'm going to give them 18 out of 20 as well. Alright, so I wasn't really planning on doing a review right now, but I just did a tour of that cool waterfall that you saw me at, and our tour guide took us to this restaurant here, and I thought this looked like a really good place to do a food review because it's really gorgeous around here. So I decided to get these things called Patacones. This has shredded beef, some sort of cheese. I don't think it's mozzarella cheese, but I wasn't really sure what kind of cheese it was. It has like a black bean paste, and I think it's like nacho cheese on top of it too. So this thing's really cheesy then. It was supposed to come with pico de gallo, but they didn't give it to me. And then when I asked it to go, they had it all deconstructed, so I had to make it myself. So it doesn't look nearly as pretty as how they make it in there. But even though it doesn't look pretty, I'm hoping it tastes pretty. Wait, do things taste pretty? I don't think things taste pretty. Oh, it's on a plantain as well. What they do is they take a plantain. I think a plantain's kind of like a banana. They squish it up and then they fry it. Let's try the plantain by itself. See what that tastes like. Kind of like a tortilla, like a dry tortilla. Yeah, this is pretty nice. The shredded beef has a lot of flavor. It's really tender and it's really juicy. Okay, now this has a good bite of cheese with it. So what I mainly taste is the flavor of the beef, and it really shines there and it's really great. I don't really taste the other things that much. The cheese doesn't have a lot to it, and the nacho cheese just gives it a little bit more kind of a salty taste to it as well. The plantain is pretty flavorless. It's just kind of like a carrying device of the meat, which is kind of like popcorn to butter. That's just a carrying device for butter, right? I like how crunchy the plantain is. That's pretty nice. And it's pretty dense too. I'm thinking this would fill you up quite a bit. Yeah, they give you a huge portions here too. And it's a really nice setting. The place is pretty busy as well. I'm gonna give this a Jones score of 15 out of 20. Alright, so I'm at another gorgeous waterfall again, and this time I didn't have to sneak into snacks. So this is called a Mr. Brown. I think it's a brownie. I assume that's why they call it Mr. Brown. I don't think it's like poo or something like that. I don't think they'd sell that in Costa Rica. Who knows though, they eat some weird stuff all around the world, like dog in Korea and haggis in Scotland. That's the grossest. So let's try out this supposed brownie out. I don't have any napkins and I don't want to have brown stuff on my face because that might be kind of embarrassing. I don't want people to think that I'm eating something kind of weird. Yeah, this thing's nice and soft. It's a little dry, not super dry, but pretty moist in a way for a store-bought brownie. It's actually pretty good. It has some nice chocolate flavor here, and it's not too sweet either. Seems pretty decent. I'm gonna give it a Jones score of 13 out of 20. No, 14 out of 20. Okay, so I thought I got something kind of weird at the store, judging by the packaging. There's a dinosaur on this for some reason, but I should have noticed these cheese balls in his hand. And that's what these are in here. They're cheese balls. And these look pretty good. I'm gonna do 2 at a time like I always take my balls. You'd think for cheese balls these would be better. 2 balls, everyone knows the rules. There's a severe lack of cheese flavor here. I'm kind of disappointed. I'm usually excited when I see things the shape of balls. These just taste like greasy balls with very little flavoring in them. Kind of like this like very hard, crunchy, bad quality Cheetos that don't have cheese flavor. I don't know, I'm gonna give these a 7 out of 20.